Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to take some minutes to talk about Reatch. Reatch is the association I've been working at for the last 3 years. And the vision of Reatch is to establish a science-friendly culture in Switzerland. So we really want to bring science, society and politics closer together so that they trust each other more and can work together on solutions for societal challenges. Reatch is a grassroots think tank. We are organized as an association, and Reatch was founded in 2014. We have different groups across Switzerland. We are in Basel, Bern, Zurich, but also in Lausanne and Fribourg, and in Geneva to a little bit smaller extent. And in whole Switzerland we have around 300 members. Of them are maybe 30 regularly active and involved in organizing projects and events. Our people have various backgrounds. Most of them are students or PhD students, but some of them are also professionals in any field from math over physics, chemistry to economics, philosophy, history. So it's really a great mix, and that helps us also a lot to do our projects, because like this we have much more perspectives to integrate. We are organized with a board member and an administrative office that is based in Zurich. So our core vision is to really establish a science-friendly culture, and we want a constructive debate between the different actors and stakeholders focused on Switzerland, because that's probably a scale where we can also influence something in the first place. We have lots of different training programs, especially targeted to young scientifics, be it students or also more advanced PhD students or postdocs, and I will introduce them later in more detail. Topic-wise, we cover different stuff, so from digitization over climate change, resource topics, to health topics, but also topics from more the social sciences and humanities that we subsume under the notion of cultures of today. And then we have a big point of topics which is called responsible research, and that's really one of our core topics, because we really aim at establishing good research practices in academic institutions. And we think that this is really an important condition to also get credibility and foster the debate towards politics and society. Our activities consist of different kinds of events. We have one kind of event which is called Reaching into the Rabbit Hole, where people just discuss a future scenario. For example, imagine it's Switzerland in 2050 and population just agreed to an initiative that wants to allow genetic modification of embryos, and now you have to build a law out of this initiative. So it's kind of a creative event scenario, and always some scientific and societal aspects that are important. The second one is Pizza, Philosophy and Science. This is more about looking at a scientific topic by integrating philosophical aspects and eating pizza together. So the idea is really to have this low-level approach, to invite people that do not necessarily have expertise on that, but also to make it more accessible. As a third event format, we have the Nano Talks, and there it's more about two people who present their research about a certain topic. But they should present it in a way that is maybe understandable to a broader public. So it's about a bit of storytelling, science communication, and always two perspectives on a fixed topic.
Are these talks are specialized about environmental question, or it's more general than that?
It can be different things. Sometimes it's more general, and sometimes it's also special. We had last week about, for example, the Nobel Prizes in sciences, and 2 talks about the one in physics and chemistry. But we have also nano talks about, for example, decision making, psychology, and climate change, and then 2 people from different research fields that touch this topic there. And all of those events are public. That's maybe also important to know. And then we have different skill building workshops that we offer throughout the year, mainly skills that are important for people who come from the sciences and want to go into public debates, into politics maybe at some point. Yes?
Yeah, do you also, because I saw that you do stuff at Zurich, at ETH, but only in German. So do you have like something in English as well? Because I don't think my German is that good to follow these kinds of discussions.
Yeah, that's true. We have lots of activities in German, which is just that national languages always have priority, and sometimes we are restricted by foundations who found us that want to promote national languages. But often it's also like we announce it in German, but you can also, for example, at the workshops participate if you're an English speaker, and sometimes they're even in English. So there is kind of a mix, but I don't know which events you saw recently, maybe.
The Nano Talks was in English, ever.
Yeah, for example.
So the Nano Talks, so, I mean, I subscribe to the newsletter, and so the newsletter is in German. So that's like the first, okay, that I understand, but like understand philosophy and science talk, I'm not sure I would be able to.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe I can tell them about the newsletter. That's a good point to know, because Nano Talks are also often held in English actually.
Okay, I didn't see that. Like
but
I saw all the
maybe it's
talks.
worth to, if you are not sure, to just reach out to the organizers. So there is also some incentive to maybe switch, if possible. Besides events, we have different formats of publication. We have our own blog that I pointed out also the article about academic advisors and activists by Adeli the last days. And there are articles about different topics from every kind of scientific fields there. And you can dive into that on our website. We also have a podcast that has been up to this point only available in German. It's called Weiterwissen, and it takes up similar topics and makes episodes of around half an hour on those topics. Besides the events and the publications, we have 2 big programs. Those are kind of science communication or science policy programs, and one of which is the SIMPACT program. That's mainly the area I work at, and it's a training program for young people, mainly people in their bachelor or sometimes also master studies that want to enter the field and make first steps. And then during 1 year they have different workshops like the ones I mentioned before, and they organize their first event, and also they get coached by experienced Reatch members to do all that. And they have the possibility to build a network during that year, and also, of course, attend different social events. But the good thing here is that, especially in Switzerland, since it's pretty small, you can advance quickly to get to know stakeholders and important players in the field. So a year can already be a good time period to do that. Then we have the editorial support program. This is mainly the opportunity for people who would like to write blog articles, so they can reach out, get support, and also get help for editing and reviewing their articles in terms of the content, but also in terms of style and form. And then the third one is probably rather the biggest area that we are active in right now. It's the Francini project that has been launched 2 years ago, and there it's really about this exchange between scientists and politicians. So the goal is that we want to bring people from the sciences and stakeholders together at one table to discuss important challenges that Swiss society and Swiss politics faces. That could be artificial intelligence, where we had different events in the summer about the state of AI and AI monitoring in Switzerland. But then we also had other events about meat production, for example, or also about aging societies and the challenges that acquire from that side, but maybe also the opportunities, and many more different formats. The Francini project has 3 main areas. In the middle there is the boot camp, and that's mainly a kind of a training camp for PhDs and postdocs, where we want to learn them the basics of politics in Switzerland, the basics of the political process also, and where they can start to bring themselves in the whole process. In the Innovation Hub, it's more about supporting ideas worth developing more. And in the Polity Hive, we have mainly the briefings together with the Canton Zurich's cantonal parliament, where people from the parliament meet scientists and talk about current topics they are working on in their political work. We can jump that one, I think. So, if you want to know more, we have a newsletter that will regularly, which means be weekly, inform you about events and activities. And of course, you can also get active if we are a new city. It's easier. If not, we could think about establishing new groups. And of course, there is our website. You find everything on the website, as usual. But I'm happy to take questions or also talk to you about more detailed approaches or things that you did not find on the website. So I'm happy to help with that. And thanks for the opportunity to talk about Reatch.
Questions for him? You'll also talk to him later.
Yes.
So you say that you have basically events about politics in Switzerland. Like, so which format is this? Is it like a lecture? Is it a few seminars or?
Yeah, we have the 3 event formats: the Pizza Philosophy in Science, Nanotalks, and Rabbit Holes that I mentioned, and they all have their kind of individual profile. The Nanotalks is more like a small lecture in a more informal style, followed by discussion and apéro. And the Pizza Philosophy in Science is more like interactive discussion. And the Rabbit Hole is more like talking through scenarios in the group together as well. So we always try to be rather interactive compared to classical lectures, I'd say, and to really give the participants the opportunity to contribute themselves as well.
Which politicians come to meet the scientists?
We have, on the cantonal level, we always try to integrate politicians from different parties, and it changes from topic to topic. So there is a long list of politicians who have been part of our events. You could find that on the website in more detail if you want. But it's usually not like always the same ones that we reach out to.
But you manage to get people even who are against sometimes.
Well, the thing is, we're not trying to promote a certain position towards a political topic. Our goal is more like we take a topic and then we try to enable the debate between politicians. Because science for itself cannot decide on political issues. What we can do as scientists is we can build scenarios, we can show models, and we can say what is likely to happen. But in the end, politics is never about truth. It's always about values and about money. And it's society and the democratically elected politicians that have to negotiate in the end where we want to go. And therefore, we really try to foster this exchange and not really promote solutions ourselves.